I'm a big fan of a macadamia nut. The problem with macadamia
Ooh, I
nuts
love
are that they're
macadamia nuts.
expensive. They are pricey,
Yeah.
but they are worth it. Other like if I had to say like if I could only eat a single nut for the rest of my life though, this might be a bit of a niche pick, but I think I would go with
Are there any
pecan.
genies waiting in the wings?
I think I would go with a pecan nut because they're relatively cheap. Like pecan nuts are like nature's potato chips. Like I could just snack on them for fucking ever, and they're
I
pretty solid in
guess.
baking.
Welcome back, Tomo. Did you have a good time in that hall?
I'm trying to think of like anything that like technically qualifies. I'm a cashew girly myself. I do love cashews. I'm trying to think of like if there's anything that like technically qualifies as a nut, like one of those like giant like foods. It's like, oh, it's technically a nut.
Yeah, Brazil is a nut.
Oh shit, I can't visit Brazil anymore.
The entire country. Cashews and lightly salted pistachios. Ooh, she's fancy.
I Pistachios in my mind are like they're the nut equivalent of like a pomegranate, where it's good, but I don't think it's worth the effort. Welcome on, Darius. Good of you, sweet bean.
I think I want to leave the pool specifically for last.
Yeah, I thought
Like, no, don't ask me why, but it seems like it'd be really satisfying to do this.
yeah. You're leaving so much grime on the table. I'm looking at these sun chairs. This is what I pay you for. I don't pay you there. Hell had at least won the Muppet,
Wait,
so it was
I'm
an
not
entire
getting paid
loss.
for this?
I think. I don't know. I'm
I'm
not even
outta
sure I'm
here.
being paid for this. Back just passed out from energy drink crash. What? Okay, question. What energy drink? Tutorial, but also like, what's your preferred energy drink if you have to drink one? Just shelled the
These
extra
maybe not.
$50 in this economy for de-shelled
Please.
de-shelled fucking cashews.
They gave you Red Bull at work? At work?
None because they taste like piss. I've enjoyed Celsius from what I've had. It's definitely like worse than like a regular, like if it weren't for the energy I would not be having it. I haven't I enjoy coffee. Actually, coffee doesn't really count as an energy drink, but it is a drink that gives you energy.
So really, you were so right.
You just described the Game Awards. What did
Yeah.
Thomas say?
At Hell had at least one Muppet.
Game Awards this year are going to be interesting because we've had multiple like multi-year long, multi-year
Projects come out.
development releases.
I'm just saying, if Elden Ring gets anything, I'm gonna be so mad. Night Rain, whatever.
Someone made the point that like Elden Ring Night Rain could win Game of the Year, and that fact actually does kind of piss me off.
That will infuriate me. That
Like-
will that or Death Stranding. That would infuriate me.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything like I think that Night Rain is like for people who can enjoy it. I'm glad that they have Elden Ring. I don't think Elden Ring, after winning as a base game, being nominated as a DLC, should have a shot at getting Game of the Year as effectively an expansion pack.
As a remix of the game.
Which I'm also is like why I'm kind of I think the Game of the Year that I'm like silently mulling over is Helldivers 2. Because I genuinely think that game was overhyped. You know, might as well throw out some fucking hot takes while we're here. Welcome to Corbyville. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Doc from showering
Like,
pickles a condiment? Yes.
I fully think Expedition 33 needs to sweep.
I'm hoping it's definitely my current game of the year. I do think I think Blueprints deserves something. I don't know what it would deserve, but I feel like it deserves some kind of award. Remember, if fucking Overwatch can win Game of the Year, anyone can. To be fair, what else released in 2016? Blueprint's best roguelike? I could see that.
I don't remember.
Without looking it up, tell me a game that, other than Overwatch 1, that released in 2016.
To be fair, I don't remember that it released in 2016.
It's almost a decade old, which is fucking wild to think about.
Well, it sure feels like it.
Best Balatro-like. I think that one's going to Nubby's Number Factory. Disclaimer, not saying Balatro is bad. If you want my hot take, only reason Balatro did so well that one year was due to the bar being low. I actually kind of agree with you.
Last year?
I kind of agree with you that Balatro...
Last year, this year?
I think it was last year. So you don't ask me what games came out. I'm forward with dates. Doom 2016. Okay, I could see Doom 2016 deserving it more than Overwatch. I love Blueprints, but because of how early in the year it was released, I feel it's going to get snubbed due to recency bias. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2 is whatever. I didn't play Death Stranding 1, so I'm not going to play Death Stranding 2. Even though I do think it's a game that I would find interesting, but also, is Death Stranding 1 exclusive to, like, the PS4 or whatever?
PS5? I don't know. But since you gave your gaming hot take, the one that would get me chased off of.
Do it. Let's perish together.
Yeah. I think gamers are way too upbeat. I need to stop licking it.
Discord cut you off. The gamers are too uppity about what?
Oh, see, they're getting me already. Help. I was saying, I think gamers are way too up Hideo Kojima to get out of it.
It keeps cutting out. I promise this isn't a bit.
Oh my god, this is a conspiracy? This is a conspiracy? It is literally Discord.
He's getting silenced.
Not allowing me to say this opinion. Okay, I'm going to say this slowly and right next to my microphone.
Okay.
I think gamers are too up Hideo Kojima's ass.
Oh,
and
okay.
need to get out of it.
Try using text. I
think Hideo Kojima could text or post a period, like the actual period.
Like the character.
And people be like, oh my god, he's such a god. Oh my god, master of gaming. Oh my god, his mind.
I do actually kind of get where you're coming from. I've never followed anything Hideo. I've never played a single Hideo Kojima game. I've played I think 15 minutes of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, just long enough to get through the fucking awful introduction sequence, and then get into the gameplay proper, and just be like, well, I'm bored. I'm just, I turned it off for the night, and then I never started it back up again. I don't necessarily have an issue with, because to some degree, I think it's good to celebrate auteur developers in the gaming sphere.
Celebrating is good. This is a lot more than celebrating.
Yeah, I think that
we're well into worship territory.
Yeah, there is some amount of overhyping over Hideo Kojima. That I definitely agree with that. He's the Keanu Reeves of gaming, funny, wholesome Reddit man. I guess that's fair, but also it's
I don't know if he's wholesome. There was something I saw the other day.
Who was the one? Who was the person who came up with the idea for what's her face from Metal Gear Rising 5? The woman who breathed through her skin, so has to be naked.
Oh, is that the oh my god, the woman who breathed through her skin. That's why she can't wear any clothes.
Yes. Because if that was Kojima, then no, the man is not wholesome. That is an incredibly horny character design. To sci-fi your way into constant nudity is incredibly horny character design. So, who's asked? Hideo Kojima is the main writer behind the Metal Gear Solid series, and I think he's also like he did. What was the one that's getting released this year? Death Stranding 2? No, not Death Stranding. Is it Death Stranding?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Death Stranding 2.
Yeah. Having like I said, the only game of his that I've played is Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which might have the worst opening sequence of any video game I've ever played. It's actually kind of a talent, the degree to which it turned me off the video game. Never played those. I've missed a lot due to very poor upbringing. 90% of movies, 99% of games missing. That's fair. Like I said, I haven't really played it either. I wonder almost if it's like... So famously, hold up, what's wrong with Revengeance's intro? It takes for fucking ever, and there's like between opening cutscene, the fight you're allowed to have fun in, and then the 3 forced to lose fights back to back to back, and then another cutscene where you get to see how your fuck up destroyed the world. It takes forever. It takes forever to actually get from point A of the game that is fun to point B of the game that is fun. I'm not saying that every part of the game has to be fun, but like the ratio there is definitely fucked up. I'm not trying to play like pathologic.
Because you're a funny, wholesome Reddit man doesn't mean you're actually wholesome. It
means
the
good point.
Redditor thinks you're wholesome 100. Like for example, despite getting legitimately criticized.
Oh my god, actually.
Scott Cawthon is a wholesome 100 Reddit man despite.
Oh, that's a good point.
He just made something Redditors like.
That's a good point. God, I hate Reddit. That like a wholesome Reddit man doesn't necessarily translate to wholesome 1-to-1, because it's just Reddit choosing a person they like because they made a thing they like and then deciding, oh, he made the thing I like, therefore he's wholesome, no criticism.
He's God now.
Yeah.
He can legally murder my family if he wants to.
But yeah. I mean, listen, I've heard mostly positive things of like Keanu Reeves. Like the dude does seem genuinely very sweet. I do think it gets overplayed, but like, you know, so like that is one of those things where it's like,
I actually haven't heard anything bad about him.
Yeah.
Unlike
which is like a fucking, at this point, given what's happened over the last like 2 decades in Hollywood, is a goddamn miracle.
Holy shit, amazing. He's either an actually good person or he's smart and knows how to hide it.
Or just like deeply introverted and would not go to any party.
Yeah.
Caught that I've heard is not pro-trans, which I don't know if that's changed or not. He issued an apology, quote unquote, that wasn't actually an apology.
He's deeply anti-LGBTQ.
Yeah, the dude is pretty deeply transphobic, and has contributed directly financially to people who want ill, not just for trans people, but the entire LGBT community.
Including Donald Trump.
Yeah. Which is
why furries need to stop buying his games.
I don't necessarily like. Here's the thing: I very rarely join the discourse trademark of like Blue Sky or Twitter. The one I was tempted to join was definitely the one on like, "Hey furries, can we please not with anything Five Nights at Freddy's related? Can we not?" Like we decided that the fucking she who shall not be named, the fucking black lady of black mold, like we decided that she's persona non grata, so why can't we do the same to the guy who made the fucking hot robot people?
Yeah, because they're hot robot people.
Oh yeah, Starkey Data Man season 2 is dropping next week. I'm so glad for Dana Dance season 2. That is actually I'm very hyped for. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like the discourse is always so fucking toxic that I never join in. But yeah, there's aside from the fact that I don't think the Five Nights at Freddy's games are ever well designed, there's a reason you will never see me play them or like ever promote them, because I'm just like, Sorry, I was doing something. What about hot robot people? We're talking about the fact that people want to fuck the Five Nights at Freddy's designs, so the game gets a pass, even though the developer is like a deeply shitty person. I think it's about weird people find the robots possessed. No, okay. Here's the thing that no one fucking talks about Five Nights at Freddy's. The lore of Five Nights at Freddy's is a one-for-one retelling of Pizzagate.
Of what? Oh wait, no, I know this. Wait, no, what?
Yeah. Okay. It is important of what? Okay, Pizzagate. So what I'm about to say is going to sound like I fucking lost it. Like this is madness. But no, this is actually something...
I've heard the term Pizzagate, but I actually don't know the context.
Okay. God, I'm gonna have to fucking explain some wild internet bullshit. So, the QAnon people...
Okay. This is already starting off swimmingly.
That's where we have to start, because that's where it begins.
Amazing. I'm seated.
They received, I believe, as part of the Hillary document leak, they were going through emails, and one of the emails was talking about a parent, like a guy who was working for the government who wanted to throw a pizza party, wanted to throw a birthday party for his kid at a local pizzeria. Oh god, to fully explain this, I have to get into like some weird, deep Christian lore bullshit. Okay. So, in the history of Christian Jewish persecution, there's this idea of blood libel, which is basically a form of propaganda that Christians use to try to demonize Jewish people, that Jewish people would kidnap their children, torture them to get a substance that would give them immortality. So, you know, it dates way back to, way back to, like, biblical era. Like, it is literally a biblical concept. It is thousands of years old. And, yeah, it got reused in Pizzagate because they said, oh, if the kids are going to the pizza parlor, they must be getting tortured to extract adrenochrome that people can use to become immortal. And, like, it sounds like I'm making this up. I promise you this is 100%, like, there are literally, like, there are web forums on fucking Stormgate or whatever that cover this entire concept. This is not an exaggeration. This is not like, oh, this is like a, an errant subculture of this foundation and belief. No, this is what the fucking entire drama was about. It's not hyperbole. I'm not overstating, and I'm not minimizing it. And fucking Scott Cawthon wrote that as the lore of his series. Because Remnant is made when, like, the blood of tortured children comes into contact with metal. And the main villain of Five Nights at Freddy's is trying to figure out what the deal with Remnant is. I'm so sorry to have fallen down this rabbit hole in front of you.
There's a lot there.
Yeah. You see why no one talks about it, right?
I do.
To be fair, it was meant to harken back to Chuck E. Cheese and an old murder that happened to the Chuck E. Cheese. I had no idea what's going on with FNAF lore. Mpreg happens. Everything I know about FNAF lore does make me convinced that, like, the dude is, like, kind of emotionally unwell. I don't know if he has children, but they should probably be checked up on regularly. I know a lot about FNAF lore. I'm so sorry. Anyways. Galactus Mpreg happened?
Galactus from Marvel?
How does a robot... Oh, wait, no. Galactus isn't a robot. He's just the giant planet eater, right?
Yeah.
Who put a baby in him?
Macro fans winning with the new Fantastic Four movie?
Oh, is that the plot of the new bit?
Yeah, Galactus is in the new
I can't
movie.
wait for the spin-off. Galactus's visit to natal care.
Oh no.
Galactus living the life of a single mother. He had a tapeworm that became Galactia. A galactic parasite that got him pregnant. You know, hey, at least Hollywood's starting to write what it knows.
That was really funny.
I'm so sorry for that joke.
Don't apologize.
The single Galactus trying to get the parental help clinics. Oh God. Oh, what a fucking nightmare the world has become. Reality is poison. He has a daughter who's into vor and oogles everything she sees as a potential meal.
Okay.
Listen, I would argue comics are like probably ground zero for the writer's barely disguised fetish. Like, if the first instance of the writer's barely disguised fetish exists anywhere, it has to exist in comics. Remember?
Yeah.
It's like, remember when we were talking about video games? But no, I'm really enjoying Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
I'm really glad you are. How far did you get in your stream this week? Because I didn't get to catch it.
We just before the stone cliffs.
Oh, okay, I see.
So
how did you enjoy the Jestro Village then?
I got lost in it because I was like, where the fuck? Like, I want to talk to the chief. Where's the chief? And then I walked through the entire village.
The chef?
Oh yeah, sorry, the chef. I walked through the entire village, and then I realized that the thing I was looking at the very beginning was the area where the chef was. I felt like a bit of a boob.
Incredible.
Thank God she has morals. In a world where vor is real, do you think, like, you know what? That's a dumb question. That might be the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever said. Because,
where are we going with this?
I was about to say, it's like, surely there's got to be like you know, like body donation lists, but also like, what the fuck start to a sentence is that? That's like that was one of those moments where like my brain filter clicked back in halfway through me saying a sentence. Why would you want a world where vor is real? No, I'm saying in the hypothetical because someone said, "Oh, thank God she has morals." Wait,
do I start the very real conversation, but also very cursed conversation here on what is the difference between vor and cannibalism?
Also, she wants to inflate Wolverine to the size of a planet so she can continuously eat him over and over, but had to grapple with the moral ethics of doing that. That was the context I was missing. Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, if they're the same species, I guess. Is cannibalism, is it a property of sapient life, or is it a property of
same species?
Yeah, like is it cannibalism for a chicken to eat a chicken?
Species, it is considered cannibalism.
Okay, then so yeah, like if someone with a bat sona eats, I don't know, someone with a fucking rat sona or some shit. Like, I could have gone with the snake for the more obvious war jokes, but then I guess it wouldn't count as cannibalism. Welcome on, Gadget. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Like, what the fuck is the benefit of war, even hypothetically? Why? Some people are into it. Vor is too cartoony for me to categorize it as cannibalism. That's fair.
Related cannibalism. It has a subfolder in cannibalism.
Yes.
cannibalism, but for gratification. No, because I think cannibals also get gratified by cannibals. Sometimes.
I mean, listen.
I don't know.
Food is its own reward. I have no idea where I'm going with that point.
Is this the platform?
Remember,
you wish
chat.
To go, I mean, listen.
Remember, chat. The safe word is pineapple. At any point, say pineapple, and the conversation will end. We actually have had a couple of pineapple moments in my chat. It's also weird that it's also so weird that I can't internalize it as a fetish. I would argue that the weirder something is, the more I'm willing to internalize it as a fetish. Like those videos of like women that like the ones who are like, it's like, oh yeah, let me make you a meal, and then they proceed to make the most fucking ungodly, disgusting combination of food. It's like, that's gotta be fetish content. Stargate gets the handsome lichen with him. Oh my. Yeah, we're joined today by Night Lichen. Remember when in Digimon the Digi-Chosen had to stay inside Waymon? Waymon, so it could transport them underwater. Vor not cannibalistic. I mean, listen, the first piece of any media to contain Vor was the Bible.
Yeah.
Because of Jonah and the whale. Vor is literally as old as the Bible.
At least. Because there could be, pieces before the Bible that contain it.
Let's not use the Digi-Destined as an example, given their children. Fair enough. Literally sending this Wonder Bread in my brain. God, oh God. Please tell me you're aware of the Wonder Bread situation.
Me?
Yes.
I need more context than the Wonder Bread situation.
The guy whose fetish was Wonder Bread women destroying the planet.
I am vaguely familiar with this.
Okay.
I don't recall.
Perfect.
That sounds very familiar, though. It might be something I blocked.
Understandable. Oh, that guy. I'm so glad, because there are people I'd say talk about that too, and they're like, Starkey, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, no, it's not me. I'm not the problem. There was destroying nature more. Yeah, so this guy got multiple commissions, very specifically of a blonde, blue-eyed lady, like a blonde, blue-eyed CEO going to the store to buy Wonder Bread while talking about
very familiar, yes.
destroying forests because it was his fetish. And then he became a meme, and then it turned out he was like super duper racist to the surprise of honestly basically no one.
Right, that makes sense.
I'm house sitting with an older person. I go back into hiding. Understandable. But yeah, no, that was the whole thing. Be gone, Wonder Bread guy. We will keep Macro Falco guy. Shout outs to Togepi 1125. The greatest of all time. That is the Macro Falco guy. Or like at least is the username he usually gets. The dude's got so many fucking credits on E6. It's like actually kind of wild. It's like I think it's like in 5 digits now.
You know what? Good for him.
Yeah. He's living the dream. He's like, I've got a lot of disposable income. I like seeing massive Falco cock. and the two shall meet.
I've actually heard that that's not the case. I don't have any data to back this up, just that I have been told that he doesn't actually have like a lot of disposable
Me teaching
income.
Starkey about that guy has done irrecoverable damage, it seems. Oh no. I was aware of that guy in fucking high school. I've known about him for at least a decade. Do you do follow for follow? No. No, thank you. Farewell.
Wait, where the fuck am I here then?
Shut up.
I'm out of here, chat. Pick up your bags. We're going.
Also comment on how nice he is as a commissioner. That's like, you know,
That's awesome.
Also, apparently, like if you invoke him, like he actually does respond to people like jokingly being like, if I want to make it as a macro artist, I gotta be able to earn a commission from Togepi until 1125. Packs at the picnic I had set out. I can still enjoy interacting with people even if I don't follow them. God knows there's so many times where I'm like, oh, like, let me fucking, let me go talk to my friend. Oh, wait, shit, I'm not following them on Twitch. That happens all the time.
And sometimes it happens where Twitch, it's just what it is.
Sometimes listen. Bad and naughty system administrators have to deal with random table droppings just to make sure that they're doing their job properly.
Bad and oh no, don't drop your tables, kids.
Never do it. Don't
Unless
do
you
it.
mean to. Then I guess drop them.
Like you can deprecate them, but never drop a table.
I actually do know what that means because I use SQL.
Also, what's an infinity pool?
Oh, okay. So an infinity pool is a pool that sort of like looks like it doesn't have an edge and just falls off. So this would be considered an infinity pool because the water would like rise up to the very top and you could just like
Our table,
look off the edge of the pool without there actually being like a pool edge.
Oh no, our table. It's broken. I have no idea what that's from. Like that is an audio clip I'm aware of, but I don't have context for it.
Okay, I need the big guns for this.
Vine, if I remember. Vine came and went before I had time to even really engage with it. Like Vine is a unit of, like it's a unit of measurement of time for me, where it's like less than a year.
Actually, that's not true because I was around for the entirety of Vine and I knew of its existence, but I'm not a big short form content person, like short form video person, which is why TikTok never took off with me.
Yeah.
So like I didn't really watch Vine.
That's fair. How long did Vine last? I'm only just remembering it. The only Vines I know of are the ones that I was showed and that I found in YouTube videos, because it died before I got a chance to even have an account. That's why I'm constantly referenced though. Welcome to the Del Taco. We got the free Shavakadu.
Do it for the Vine.
And of course the ones that got so big that they started being annoying, which is like the what are those? I
hated
that one.
Had a set of kids do that to me once in real life on the bus, and I didn't know what that meme was when it happened. I just thought these were being weird because of children.
Yeah, children are weird.
So like I was earnestly responding like their shoes because they're pointing at my shoes.
Yeah, Damn Daniel is also another one that I'm like I don't understand. I refuse to watch TikTok because I know it'd be doom scrolling. Here's the thing: TikTok, I think, was easier for me to get into because I had friends who were already super into TikTok and who had curated their feeds to specifically not turn into a doom scrolling nightmare. That having been said, fuck TikTok now. I refuse to go back. The whole situation with the banning and then immediate unbanning, I'm like...
Thank you, President Trump.
It wasn't even fucking the president at the time. And then, of course, they started, like, deprioritizing anything that was critical of him. So, no. Fuck that platform.
That's kind of where I'm like, you know what? I deleted this, and I'm gonna...
I need to go about getting things uploaded to my phone so I can post to Skylight, which is the Blue Sky, like, short-form content thing.
Oh, I heard about that.
It doesn't seem to have like a PC setup, which is less than ideal. Because I don't actually like using my phone that much. Look, I'm old. I enjoyed Vine. I mean, listen. Here's the thing. Vine, I think, was very much of its time, and it's not like there was like no good content from Vine. Like I said, I enjoyed a lot of like the Vine humor that I did see. It's just that the really big ones were very obnoxious. I think in large part because they got big, like, and then it was like, oh yeah, it's like you have to have seen the Vine. And I'm like, I don't have a Vine account. And like they weren't getting cross-posted to YouTube yet, so I didn't have any context, and people were just screaming Vine quotes at me, and I'm like, I don't understand. Please, I'm just a boy. I'm just a child. Because that was I think when it came into being and died while I was in high school, and I had a brick phone in high school, so like I was not connected to any of the big apps.
Okay, now Stark, I need to ask, since you are younger than me, did you have an actual brick phone, or were you just referring to what was a cell phone right before iPhones came out?
So it was a
because for me, a brick phone is cell phones that were actually the size of.
Okay, that's a fair point. It wasn't the size of a brick. I love my Nokia brick. It was handheld, but it was definitely not a smartphone because it had like a slot. The cool thing about it was that it had like it slid sideways, so that way it had like a.
Was it a kick?
It might have been. Hold up, let me look real quick.
Sidekick or whatever.
Kick.
What's really funny is I think those phones are smaller than the phones we have now.
Oh, almost certainly. It wasn't a kick, but it was that style.
Right.
It was that style, except the entire top, like it was split into halves rather than having like a little divot, and like the top half would slide sideways. Like this was a phone that like I never fucking texted because texting was a huge pain in the ass. Because like I had to do like the texting thing where you had to like press the number keys multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like, oh, if you wanted to type a C, you had to press 1 3 times. God help you if you wanted to start with a lowercase c, because you're pressing that shit 6 times. Or if you have to, oh god, the ultimate struggle. If you had to type a C and then an A, you had to add a pause, so that way the phone didn't.
You had to wait.
Yeah, kids these days will never understand my impatience. No, that's one of those very silly things that But no, like that is, I did actually like, I think I was 17 when I got my first smartphone, and that's because I bought it myself. That was actually like an investment in my job, because I was literally like sitting in like a room for 8 hours a day repairing window screens. And I was like, I'm gonna go mad if I don't have music or something. What was your first cell phone, like a proper brick phone, or?
No, I'm not that old. I just knew of its existence. Those are the phones we made fun of when we were like starting to get our cell phones. No, mine was like, it was my mom's hand-me-down Nokia. That was my first cell phone. Because she didn't need it anymore because she got a new phone, I think. And so that was my first cell phone, and she gave it to me specifically for use it, like, if you're ever, like, in trouble walking home from school.
That's fair.
Which was really weird because my school was 2 blocks away from me. So it was a very short walk.
I mean, listen, yeah.
But also,
parents
sometimes it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All it takes is one block.
Right next to the park.
It's like that statistic that's like, I can't remember, it's something like 80% of kidnappings are like are like performed by someone that the kid knows.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, all it takes is like literally like one moment of indiscretion. Better safe than sorry. Stranger danger is mostly a myth. Yeah. Yeah.
I do still think there's a danger, particularly with children. I don't think children should be interacting with on the streets.
It's one of the things where it's like, I don't think like it's like at a certain age. I would say probably like 13 is where I would be like, okay, you know, the kid understands the concept of like, you know, the kid probably understands the concept of like meaningful like bodily harm and danger at that point, and is going to be like conscientious to like actively prevent something from that happening. It's actually kind of wild because like I would say it was my mom. So I have a nephew. My nephew is pretty young. I would say I probably should know his actual age. I want to say he's like 3, maybe 4. But my mom specifically like asks for consent when going to pick him up, which is like a wild thing I hadn't really considered, but like is actually like really genuinely cool to be like, yes, this little creature is ultimately still a human and deserves like the basic respect that we would give any other human. Because you wouldn't just like pick up a random person you found on the street.
You do realize we're both size trash, right?
Okay, listen. That's different. That's furry fantasy land. The person I am in fantasy and the person I am in real life is very different.
Of course, of course. I got in trouble at summer school once. Not summer school, summer camp, which I use the term camp loop because it was a day camp, and again, so I just crossed the street because I lived right next to a park. And there was one day where like they brought in one of those like bouncy boxing rings for like the kids to play with. And I got really excited about it. I was like, this looks really fun. I've done this before. It's extremely exciting. And because I was an extrovert, I just walked right up to like the operator guy by myself and started talking to him. And the counselor, watcher, whatever, the observer, saw me do that, came to me, pulled me away, scolded me for talking to this adult by myself, and then made me sit inside in silence with the other kids in trouble while the other kids got to play like on the stuff for the rest of the evening.
Bruh.
Yeah, that was a lot. Like, okay,
adult rules are...
Why are you punishing me for this?
Yeah, some of the shit is like, okay, like when you become an adult, you're like, okay, this rule made sense. Some of the shit you got in trouble for as a kid is like, I actively would reward a kid for doing that. I don't pick up random people, but random people do ask me to pick them up. I offer uppies on request.
Detention at summer camp is, yeah.
That is wild. Actually also wild. I guess it'd be kind of close for like a timeout, but also it's still like
it was more of a timeout than anything, but also it was for hours, and I didn't get to have fun.
Hours, Jesus!
No, yeah, hours. I was there for the rest of the day.
That's actually fucking wild. The rule I always had as a kid growing up was like, if you got in trouble enough where you had to be put into a timeout, you were waiting your age in minutes. The idea basically being that, like, as you grow older, you shouldn't be doing this dumb shit anymore.
Right.
And, like, low-key, that does seem like a pretty good way of going about it. Also because, like, for a little kid, three minutes is gonna feel like a fucking eternity.
That's the thing. When you asked me the hours, that's when I thought, It felt like hours. Maybe because I was so young, it was actually like, I don't know. But I felt like I was there all day, which is what matters.
Yeah.
What are we missing? Oh, that corner. No,
It's
what are we
always-
missing?
It's always like the most random shits sometimes.
It's the pool floor.
If a 30-year-old guy were to get in timeout, they would be there for 30 minutes. At some point, there is diminishing returns for sure. Because things go from being detention to being prison.
It's reeling.
Like, let's be honest with ourselves. What is prison if not adult? Like, what is prison if not just adult timeout? You know, besides the horrifying, like, you know, prison industrial complex.
Slavery, torture. Yeah.
You know, setting aside the fucking the neo-capitalist nightmare we live in. Everything is awful.
Yeah. Okay.
Where instead of minutes, years. It's been 84 years. How does one handle, like, okay, let's say that, like, let's say prison exists in like a D&D style universe. The fuck you do if someone who's immortal like earns a life sentence? Is that when you put them in the crystal? You're just like, yeah, congratulations, you're now magical battery. Go fuck yourself. Infinity pool stair steps. You just keep them there forever. Oh, steps maybe? That was... I believe a typical life sentence is just 80 years. Yeah, I'm aware of the fact that, like, sometimes they'll, like, people will be rewarded multiple life sentences, which is just that way, like, there's no chance of them, like, being released early for good behavior.
Parole, yeah.
Yeah, like, no chance for parole, no early behavior, no early release for good behavior. It basically is like, yeah, you're just gonna be in jail until you no longer are. Which is kind of metal. Bruh. What are we missing on this lower deck? Oh. Nice.
You finished it. What is that? Oh,
There's
wait.
a third lower deck.
Century pool.
To some degree, like, it would, I guess it would, like, you know, yeah, having lived in a world that's interesting, I don't want an interesting world. I want a happy world. But also, I would be happy if I were, like, a goo crow creature. I would be happier, but also that's objectively more interesting than just fucking being this weird, you know, mass of different cells. Is that palm trees or palm tree leaves? Palm tree bases. So Sergey wants to TF the nanite goo that can TF people. I'm not.
Yeah.
Listen. At some point, goo TF is just you're just wearing like a latex suit. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Where's this last part? This whole. There we go.
Window columns and
Window
palm
columns.
leaves. Oh, that's... All right. Window column.
Maybe these ones down here? Or those ones
Is
over
that
there?
one? You can actually click on, if you, like, tab, and then you can actually click to see what the,
Yeah.
Huh. This actually does go significantly faster when there's two people.
It does, yeah.
Because like, I'm sure that one would have definitely taken me more than... Yeah, 2 hours. I don't think we can finish another job. Do you want to start another one?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't, if only because my... So I probably shouldn't play Powerwash today.
Okay. So you want to just call it an early stream?
I might call it you. If you want to keep going, go for it.
Okay. I'm trying to think like what I would even be... I guess I'd be doing more Powerwash then.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll probably keep going then. And we'll probably just do like a song request.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Right.
You are all too familiar.
SRT.
But yeah, it was fun hanging out with you. All right.
Likewise. Bye.
Bye. All right. Now, do we want to do song requests, or some GUTF is just like wearing a rubber suit, but the suit is sentient and you're an unwilling host most of the time? Other times the subject gets turned into goo. Fair enough. All right.